Okay, so it's Thanksgiving week, and Thanksgiving week means for me it's time to cook pumpkin pies. I already showed you that, but also cook the turkey bird. So today is the day before Thanksgiving. The way I do it, I generally buy my turkey bird frozen. I get it when it's on sale. I think this year we got them from 99 cents a pound, and so he's set in the freezer for a good while. And usually by Saturday before Thanksgiving is when you need to take him out and get him to thaw out in the refrigerator. And so our turkey bird is thawed out, and now he's ready to go into the brine. A couple of things that lead to dry turkeys. Dry turkey is probably one of the biggest complaints for Thanksgiving, other than somebody bringing something that they weren't supposed to bring. Like you ask them to bring a good casserole and they bring a experiment. But dry turkey bird. Two things to keep your turkey bird from getting dry is one, to brine it before you cook it, and two is if your turkey comes with that little pop-up little timer, first thing you need to do in this brining process is pull that thing out and throw it away. Chances are you're cooking your bird too long, right? So you cook him by temperature, not time, and those little plastic indicators are just a ploy by the company that sells it to try to make you buy their brand rather than other. Anyway, we're going to mix up the brine. I'm not real particular about it. The main thing is to have salt. So that's brine. I think brine might even mean something like salt. But anyway, so we got salt. That's about a half a cup in there. I usually put some lemons. These are quartered lemons. Rosemary, fresh out of the garden. This is some dried sage. Just put some of that in there. See, I'm not really specific about how much. Some brown sugar. Worcestershire sauce. Peppercorns. Put some peppercorns in there. Garlic. And that's about it. So you want your brine, I had the water heated up. I'll bring it to a slow boil, let it set there about 5 minutes at that slow boil. And then I'll let it cool down, and I'll put it in this cooler. And the turkey bird will go in on top of it. So here's your turkey bird. You need to have him thawed out while you're doing this brining process. If he's still a little bit, frozen, it's okay, as long as you can get the turkey neck out. What are you going to do with your turkey neck? You can save your turkey neck and either use it to make giblet gravy, or you can put it in red beans and rice. And then you got your giblets to make your giblet gravy. So remember to take that little pop-up thing out if he's got one. Also save your bag. Sometimes they come in these bags like that. If you remember from other playlist videos in the garden, these things are really good for making hammocks for vegetables growing on a trellis and that kind of stuff. A good bag store, so save those. So that's what I'll do. I'll cook that for about 5 minutes, cool it down, put it in here, put the turkey bird in here, and then I take a bag of ice. Now you need your turkey bird to be underneath the water all night. And so I put the turkey bird in there, and then I just put a bag of ice on top of it. And what that does, that cools the water, keeps the water cool, and it weights the turkey bird down, right? It's going to be 50 degrees during the day here today. Tonight it'll be down around 30 something. So I will take this cooler and I'll just set it out on the porch. And that's why he'll sit until he's brined. And tomorrow we'll get him back in here and pick up from there on how we're going to smoke him. Thank you. See you in a bit. Okay, so it's Thanksgiving morning. The turkey bird has been sitting on the brine all night. Probably, I don't know, 16 hours or so, something like that. And now we got to prepare the turkey bird to go into the smoker. And so that's two things. That's a butter that gets applied on top of the breast underneath the skin, and the stuffings to go inside, the aromatics to go inside the cavity. So we'll prepare the butter. The butter has been sitting out overnight to soften. And so we've got some softened butter here that we'll put in this bowl. And then really we're just going to add some fresh herbs to it and what that'll do is help keep the breast moist, and it also adds a little flavor to it. So we've got some garlic to add with our butter, some fresh thyme came out of the garden, some fresh rosemary from the garden, and some fresh sage. And so that's what we'll make with our, I guess we can call this herbed butter that we're putting in here. And so I'll take this fork and I'll sort of mix that up together to make like a soft butter paste, if you will. I'll probably get my hands in it a little bit too. But what we'll do, see how those herbs are mixing in with the butter. And what we'll do is we will put that under the skin of the turkey. So there's our herb butter right there. This is salted butter, by the way. So now I'll go here and get the turkey bird. The turkey has been, I got it out of the brine this morning. I rinsed it with cold water and then patted it dry. And so to get him ready to go in, see these legs and tips, they're just sort of hanging out here. What we'll do is flip him over and take those legs and tips and bend them underneath like this, well, like this, to make a platform. So we're bending his arms back and his wings will poke out and it'll make a platform for us to then flip him over, and now he sort of sits more stable on the rack. All right, and then we've got the cavity. So what we want to do is pry this skin off from the breast to be able to get the butter in there. And so I'll just start with my hands and poke them in there, and you can see how the skin just sort of separates from the breast. And you got to work your fingers down in there all the way to the end. And it's okay. What you don't want to do, some people you'll see them use a spoon, but what you don't want to do is break the skin, because that skin is going to help maintain the moisture as the butter is melting and getting down into the breast. And if you didn't have the skin there, then all that would evaporate in the smoker and get away, and then you lose some of your ability to make your breast more moist and flavorful. So we got that. You can see how my hand is all the way in that, on the breast there. Same way over here. And then you take your butter, your herb butter, grab a glob of it and poke it in there, and you sort of smooth her down. You can use the outside, help push it with the inside hand, and outside hand just smooth it down. And it's okay if it's a little globby like that. That's good, because butter is good. And so there we got a little pat of butter back in there. I've been using this same method for, I don't know, about 10 or 15 years. I've been smoking our turkeys. We cooked them in the oven before that, and they did well. And last 10 or 15 years, we've been smoking them. I did trade one year. My brother did some of those where you deep fry them, and I traded them, smoked them for a deep fried one. We like to smoke them better. So there's the butter in there. The other things we need to do to clean him up, on the back here, there's some skin that hangs off up here on his neck area. So we'll cut that off. Sort of clean him up. That's the skin that came off the back. The front here, I cut this skin away. That's right here at the cavity opening. It's just a layer of skin with a little bit of meat. It isn't really anything. Probably go ahead and cut this little bit of fat off. Sometimes there's a, there it is. This I don't know what this thing's called, but this glob of stuff right here, I cut that off. And now you got the cavity. Inside the cavity is really just fresh herbs, um, and so and you know, some citrus, apple, that kind of stuff. Onion with the skin on. You're not going to eat this onion. This is just aromatics going in there, and so don't worry about skin. You know, there's some rosemary. We'll stick that in there. Some apple. Got it quartered. Stick the apple in there. Stick it all the way in the back. Some citrus. This is mandarin. You can use lemons, limes. You know, just you're really making an aromatic thing. There's some sage. Stick some sage in there. Thyme out of the garden. Stick that in there. So he's getting pretty full, but that's okay. And I got this pepper's been laying on the counter. It's a dried pepper. I'm gonna put him in there and see how that does. You know, you can experiment a little bit. I crush that pepper up a little bit. So now he's ready to go. I'm gonna take some of this butter, spread it around on the outside a little bit, if it'll stay. Probably isn't gonna stay. So that ain't gonna work. But what I will do is probably take some olive oil and spread a little bit of olive oil on the skin. That just sort of helps it with that coloring. And so I'll take a little bit of olive oil. Yeah, I can put some, I'm gonna put the butter in the cavity. So put a little olive oil on my hand, and then I'll oil him up a little bit here. And that just helps with the coloring. And then I gotta truss his legs up. A little olive oil right there. And then take this kitchen string, cut it, make a little loop like that, and then you know, fold it over itself so it's got a little loop. Put that on one end of the leg, pull the leg up, get that tight, and then wrap it around the other leg and around itself. And what you're doing is really just sort of tying the two legs together so they won't flop around. And so there he goes, like that. Put this extra butter, stick it in the cavity, it'll be okay. And now the turkey bird is ready to go in the smoker. So we'll take him out there, put him in the smoker. Smoker's been heating 235 degrees. Can you get the door? All right, thank you. And the turkey bird will go in there. We will leave him in there, check him with an InstaRead thermometer. I do have a thermometer built into this, but I like to use the InstaRead. 165 degrees in the thickest part of the breast and the thigh, and that's when he's ready to come out. You can estimate about 12 minutes a pound, and so that's it. We'll come out and I might do a little while we're checking him and he's cooking, but I'm thinking this guy will probably take about 4.5 hours to cook. Thank you. Okay, so we're out here at the smoker checking on the turkey. A couple of things about turkey birds or about this process I need to make you aware of. I started smoking him on pecan wood, and then you know, the first refill I refilled it with apple. And so, you know, you don't really want to go mesquite or anything real strong like that with a turkey. You could start a lot of things. I'll start on the hickory and then go to a sweeter apple, cherry, something like that. But I started this guy on pecan and went to apple. I did have about a half a cup of apple juice that I put down in the tray in there that catches the drippings, you know, just to drive some moisture into the smoker. Another thing, the brine that I used. that is salt water. And so, you know, when you go to dispose of your brine, you can't just pour it anywhere. I like to put mine in the walkways of the garden. You know, I do raised bed garden. And so, you know, that way I know it's sort of contained right there, and that salt water will keep plants from growing. So if you just pour it out in your yard, you know, you just made you a muddy spot next spring, right? Okay, so let's check the turkey bird here. Ooh. And so, like I said, instant read thermometer, you know, poke it in the breast at the thickest point. He's right at 164 there, and then I'll go into the thigh about 163. So, you know, I like him to run up around 168, 170, something like that. I might leave him in there for a little bit longer. I don't know if you got a picture of what he looks like, but he is browning up there. Is not real crispy, not really pliable. I guess that's due to the apple juice that I put in there. If you like to crisp him up, you might now take him out at this point and put him in an oven, something like that, a more of a dry environment. You probably could pour out the apple juice if you want to.
Pliable or not pliable? The skin.
Well, it's not hard. Okay. Yeah, so
not crispy.
It's not crispy. Yeah, it's not crispy. So you know, if you like crisp skin, you might I'm not really going to sit and munch on the skin. I'm really after the meat. But I might pour out the liquid there and dry it up inside for the last few minutes here as he wraps up. But there's the update on the turkey bird. We'll come back when we get him out of the smoker. So I'm out here at the smoker. I believe the turkey bird's probably done. Let me check right quick and see, but I think he's done. That's what he looks like in there. Let me bear with me just a second. Okay, here I am back. I've taken him out of set the rack. It is a small bird. He's probably, I don't know, 16 pounds or so, something like that. You can see here, this is part of that, what happens when you've got that apples and stuff inside this little juice down here. It's probably going to be pretty moist. The skin, I wouldn't call it crisp, sort of pliable. Let's see what we got on temperature wise. Looking at about 170 in the breast there. So I'm gonna take him inside. I will probably tin up a little aluminum foil, you know, because I'm not really looking for a crisp skin. I mean, it has a bite to it, you know, but it's not really crisp. But anyway, that's the turkey bird. May make a little video as I get ready to slice one of the breasts or something. I generally slice the breast off the bone and then slice it against the grain, if you will, so on the bias. I slice the turkey leg off, and then I will generally pull the thigh meat rather than slice it. Just this is the way we do it. Turkey legs just laying there. I don't serve a turkey on a platter. I generally slice it and serve it that way. Anyway, that's a smoked turkey bird. So here we are back. I thought I'd show you what the turkey looks like after I've sliced it. The skin does sort of brighten up a bit when you rest it. So here's the turkey bird. This is all single breast. It's a small bird, like I said earlier. There's the leg. This is the thigh meat. Just to show you what else we have for our Thanksgiving, the smaller Thanksgiving this year, because our oldest daughter is away with her in-laws. Dressing, that red stuff, cranberry sauce, Brussels sprouts. I did them a little different this year. That's Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes, red onions. There's some sweet potato casserole, some fresh rolls that Rochelle made. That's what our table looks like. And then we've got something else in the oven. somewhere we got some deviled eggs and what is that? Oh yeah, green bean casserole. So happy Thanksgiving. You know, making stuff at home, that's what works for me mostly.